Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel and the allotment. I'm Mal, known as a veg plot man, and we're going to be getting up to one or two tasks that I've got to get done today. But the first one is becoming very familiar with this, and I will be for the next, well, for the foreseeable future, as that sun comes out now and there's a little bit of damp in the soil. Then we've got to keep on top of those weeds, and trust me, they've started to grow already. So I'm going to be doing that today. Also, I'm going to be digging a potato trench. We've got some roses to plant, and I've got one thing to let you in on a little bit later on in the video, so stick around. But before we crack on, I'd like to firstly say thank you very much to all the new subscribers that have joined the channel in this last 2 or 3 days. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you stick along with me for the long haul and you see where my allotment journey takes me this year. Right, let's crack on doing this hoeing and then we'll move on and get something else done. Not everybody likes digging potato trenches, including me, but I do think it's worth it. A couple of reasons. Firstly, keeps you fit, and secondly, I just think that the rows, it gives the potato more room to grow in. If you simply dig a hole with a trowel and bob it in, then those shoots have got to shoot out and try and work their way through that structured soil. So I like to do it like this. Last year I did an experiment with my chavolas, and yeah, there probably weren't much difference in the potatoes that I got out, but just one of those things, I suppose. I enjoy doing it. And when you've got well cultivated soil, it's not as hard as what you think it is. That's I'm nearly there now, and it's taken me all of a couple of minutes. I will be bobbing a little bit of well rotted manure in the bottom of this trench to give the potatoes a good start. And fingers crossed I'll get a good yield. Couple more spades full. And it's done. One trench, 2 minutes, something like that. And as I say, it opens them lungs. So there we go. That's the final potato trench in. So that's 7 in total. And then, as I say, over that side there'll be some buckets with the spare potatoes that I've got. Right, before I do anything as vigorous as that, we'll now nip down to the greenhouse and I'll show you what I've put in since the first sowings at the weekend. Right, in we come. So as you know, all these seedlings were done at the weekend, and I've got some up home on the Super 7, which I'm pleased to say a number of them have germinated. So they'll be coming back down here and under the propagators once I think they're of a decent size. So the other things that I've sown since are the beetroot here. I've got Boltardy in this first tray, and then the golden beet that Ali from the Rusty Garden channel sent across to me. The other thing that I've done is the spring onions. I've potted those on. As you remember, they were in a tray like this, and the roots have started to come through the bottom, so I potted them on. These are the blood red spring onions, and they've not done that well, to be fair. So I've got another sowing on the go with them, and I think I'm going to be potting these California Wonder sweet peppers on. In fact, I'm going to try and maybe pot most of them on, because I'm not, as I say, I'm not keen on these little cardboard pots. They're not my scene. Look at these onions now. They're thickening up lovely after the little haircuts. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the roses out, and we're going to give them a planting. I'm going to get them into this bed here. So let's get the kneeling pad. So this one's the yellow one, and it is Rosa Golden Glow. And as I say, it's bare root. It's important to make sure you dig a deep enough and wide enough hole for this, so that the roots can get out easy enough. I think that's big enough, and also not to plant above the graft. So I'll just get that sat in there. Around it. And I think this bed is going to look really nice come flowering time. As I've mentioned to you before, I will be putting some dahlias in here as well. This one's going to go about here, and then the arch is going to be around here for the clematis, which is just there to climb that way, and then I'm going to put a climbing rose on this side. That's the intention. Right, let's get there. Yeah, about right. Give them plenty of room to grow into. Absolutely glorious day today. Really is. As soon as I opened my eyes this morning, I looked out of the window and I thought, today's going to be a nice day. Don't know why. I mean, it was ridiculously early that I got up, but I could just tell it was going to be one of them days. Right, and this next one is Rosa Marion. So, a pink coloured one. There we go. Those like that, and then get the what I'm going to do, a little bit of well rotted manure just to go around them, top dress them and give them a good watering in. but I better go write the label out because I'm always getting it wrong for not doing that. There we go. I'm trying to adopt good habits. As you saw in the last video, the parsnip germination was really good, and I'm expecting by the weekend that those parsnips will be ready to transplant. So what I want to do in preparation for that is make sure firstly that the bed is weed free. And it's surprising how many little roots there are in here, seedlings that are sprouting in this bed. And then secondly, what I want to do is get it really moist, and give the soil then chance to warm up. What I don't want to be doing is putting seedlings in and then putting freezing cold water on them. That will just cool the soil down. You know, I can feel just by putting my hand in there that that soil's quite warm because it's had its cover on. So I'm going to get these out. I'm going to get at least 2 full watering cans of water on this, just to moisten it up. And I'll probably do that again tomorrow or Thursday. And then that should be just right for the weekend. Fingers crossed that we're transplanting them. Some water in here. Nice and damp. In fact, I think that one will do. I'll put another on in a couple of days. And pop the lid back on. Yesterday I was down and I helped Martin put my old shed up that was on the back plot. So I'm going to nip down and show you how that looks. He's done a really good job on the painting of it, and it looks quite at home on his plot. But what I managed to do as well was to get all those logs stacked up. I was going to wait for my son-in-law's, but unfortunately that's them there. So half of that, well, probably about 2/3 of that is what I stacked yesterday. And I did intend, as I say, to get my son-in-laws to come down and do that for me, but on Sunday it's Mothering Sunday. So on Saturday my daughters are taking my wife out for a brunch, so that rendered them unavailable, so I ended up doing it myself. So yep, and I'm really pleased because this area is now nice and clear. I got rid of all the OSB boards that I don't need. I got rid of the pallets. one of the things I'm going to do this year is I'm not just going to hold on to things for holding on to things' sake. I've got a little area here, which is a crate here that I use to chop the logs on with the chainsaw, so I'm not bending my back. So what I've done is I've utilised that. This here is the cover for the fire that goes on there. That goes on there and keeps the damp out. But I've utilised this for just some old pots that I do need, that I hope to be planting up at home and here on the allotment, and a little bit of plastic that I might need. Rhubarb's doing well again. Yeah, so I've got that there, and as I say, the only thing that I've got now is I've kept one log store free for any good bits of timber that come along. If it don't fit in there, it's not staying on my plot. I like to keep things nice and tidy, nice and orderly. Right, I'm going to go down and see if Martin's on before we come back up and we do that last task, and I'll let you know who it was that sent me those lovely lilies. Alright, let's nip off and see Martin. We'll walk past my old plot. Funny that, my old plot. Yep, done some graft on there, but it's left in good nick for somebody else. I'm not sure if Martin's on, but we can go down and we can see. We managed to get, the thing that was holding us up with it was getting enough people here to lift the roof. Me and Martin tried it, and you know, we're 130 odd between us, so we couldn't lift it, so I had to wait. We managed to get some people down yesterday, helped us lift it onto the back of the van, and we got it done. Right, we're on the back road. I think Martin's in. I think his door's open, I can hear a radio. Ah yes, I've spotted him. He's over there. There we are, at Martin's plot. Strange how things happen. I got my small greenhouse from just here, and Martin has got my old shed just over there. How are we going, Martin? All right?
Yeah, damn it.
Good, good. Hard at it?
What?
Hard at it?
As always.
Yeah. And there's the shed, look. It looks a damn sight better than what it did when it were on my plot. We got it up yesterday, Martin, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Finally got the roof on. So Martin's just got a polytunnel as well that he's waiting till it gets a bit warmer to put the skin on that. And he's doing a few raised beds here. So, and yeah, it's looking great. I gave Martin these OSB boards because he's thinking of, like me, putting a bit of a overhang on so that he can pave underneath here and have a bit of a seating area. So it's looking well. Right, Martin, I'll see you later on, mate.
Yeah, certainly will, Mal.
Yep.
See you later.
Looks good. A lot easier to work when sun's on your back.
It is.
Isn't it? Right, pal, I'll see you in a bit.
You will.
Yeah, so that's Martin's new shed. This is his old shed here on left. He's going to be taking that. That's been up about 20 odd years. So it don't owe him anything. He's going to be taking that one down. So, right. I'm going to have a wander up this way to see. Ah, there is somebody in the stores. Martin, somebody opening stores. I'm going to get myself some more compost. I'll see you when I get back to the plot. right walk is that? I like to get this compost in before what I call the mad rush, because we're only a couple of weeks off and everybody will be returning back to the plots and starting to clear them and tidy them, and people that I've never seen before. And then the first thing they do is they go up there and they raid the stores and there's never no left. So I'd rather get it in first and know that I'm not rushing about afterwards. I've got about 14 bags here now, and I know that's taking up a bit of the staging, but as I go along I'll use that up, and then I can, when I'm potting on and things like that, I create space underneath for them. Right, what next? The mystery bulb buyer. Let's get on with that one. You may recall from the last video, the weekend, the bulbs that were sent to me, and I didn't know who sent them. These are lilies, and these ones are called honeymoon, and these ones are Montego Bay. There's 3 in each pack, so 9 in total, and then there's apricot star. And these were kindly sent to me by Ali over at the Rusty Garden channel, who is one of my subscribers. I subscribe to her. If any of you are watching and you're not subscribed, I'll leave a link in the comments. Nip over and give her a subscribe. She's a lovely, lovely person that's got quite a bit of knowledge on growing, and she's got absolutely thousands and thousands of seeds in her seed library. Ali, I'd just like to say a heartfelt thank you very much for these. So kind of you, really thoughtful. My mother-in-law was very important to me and the rest of the family, and I'm going to put these in Lily's bed and dedicate them to her. But I think I'm going to keep the Montego Bay for home, and they'll remind me of my dad, who come from Jamaica. So thank you very much, Ali. It's so appreciated and very, very kind. So on that kind note, I'm going to bring this video to an end. I'd like to thank you all for watching and subscribing and liking and commenting. It really is appreciated. And as I say, thanks to all those new subscribers. I'm gonna have a brew, sit down and have a relax before I head off home. So until the weekend, take care and happy growing.